VS Code, and then Python libraries that we'll be working with, such as NumPy and Pandas. But first, let's take them one step at a time. What is VS Code? So basically, VS Code is a free code editor. It is a place to write, edit, and run a Python code. Helps organize your project, shows errors, and suggests fixes. Supports many extensions. That is the work of VS Code. So VS Code is not only for writing Python code. You could also use it to write different programming language code. Let me put it that way. So now, what is Python? Python is a powerful programming language. It is used for data analysis, not only data analysis. You could use it to develop a website, build an app. The list goes on and on. But for now, we're focusing on data analysis. So it is used for data analysis, automations, and more. It's easy to learn, like writing simple English. Once your sentences are right and your syntax are in place, you're getting a free code without a free bulk code. So let me put it that way. So the last one is that it supports many libraries from different taxes. So when we start understanding the different libraries we have in Python, I mentioned two, the NumPy, the pandas. So this has different functions they play in Python. So when you understand it, you understand where to bring it in. So now, what is pandas? But before we go to what pandas is, what are other important Python libraries? We have the NumPy, Matplotlib, and we have the Seaborn, we have the Scikit. I don't know if these pronunciations are correct, but that's why I have it on my screen here so we will understand it properly. So the NumPy is for numerical calculations. The second one for data visualization charts. Remember we did this in our Excel. Then the Seaborn, statistical plots. The last one for machine learning. So back to our focus on Python, pandas, and what is this work of the pandas? Pandas library, it helps to handle the tables, the data frame tables. Remember, Excel was basically tables, tables, tables. So you load and clean Excel or CSV files. It helps you to analyze, filter, and summarize data, export cleaned data back to Excel. So basically, we can say that pandas in Python is just like Excel. So this is a library that does literally the work of Excel in Python. So let's see the next slide. So we're focusing on pandas now. And said what for that pandas is the foundation of data analysis in Python, because what is data analysis without tables? None. So pandas is the foundation of data analysis in Python. It reads, writes, and writes Excel and CSV files, cleans messy data. It can group your data, filter it, and summarize it for you, analyze big data easily. And then, in summary of the tools of what the tools we need for Python transitioning, Excel to Python transitioning, VS Code. Basically, we mentioned VS Code, remember? So we said it's our coding workspace. Then Python is our programming language we are using. Pandas is our data analysis toolkit. Yes. So the other libraries are for deeper analysis. Remember the Seaborn, NumPy, and other stuffs. And then once you have this, you are ready to start. So first step is downloading our VS Code, which is Visual Studio Code, then the Pandas and the Python, and then we start our work. So first, I already have VS Code, Python, and Pandas here. So I will teach you how I will uninstall my Python and my Pandas, and then reinstall again so we could learn how to do it properly. So first, I'll go to my stats menu here. I already have Python here, so I'll just delete this. I'll click on it, uninstall, and then go back to my start button, left click, and uninstall. Yes, so go back again, this to uninstall. This is the main app actually. So as uninstalling this, I will install it and then re-download, so we could learn how to do this. So here the main Python app is out. I will uninstall. Why that While we uninstall that, I'll just minimize this. Then this is the Python launcher. Then okay, so basically it's uninstalling already. So let's see. So while this is uninstalling, I will show us how we can download a VS Code, that's the Visual Studio Code. So the Visual Studio Code, step one, I already have it, but I'll just show us how to do it. You could go to their official page, which is visualstudio.com, and then download, or you can just go to your browser. So let me search out for my browser here. I'll be using Firefox. So I'll wait for this. So is either I go to the official page, or on my browser I'll just type Visual Studio Code download. Once you click on it, you see that. So let's say click on the first one. I think that's the official website. So here, depending on what you're using, if you're using Mac, you download for Mac. If you're using Linux, you also do that. I'm using Windows, but I'm not downloading because I already have it in my system. So here, once you're done downloading, open the downloaded file, and then you click on next. You see install, then you click on install. Once you're done installing, you will see finish. So just click on finish and you're done, but don't open it, because remember we are using Python program, so we have to install Python into VS Code. So let's go back here and be sure that, okay, let's minimize this, and so we could be sure, okay, this is still uninstalling. So while we wait for this to uninstall completely, think we'll still have to go back to, okay, yes, uninstalled successfully. So we'll close this and then go back to our Firefox here. So on a new tab, we're going to type in www.python.org. So let me have this here, .org, and then click on enter. Click on this. So hover around the downloads, you see the latest, and then I'll just click on it. This yellow, um, this here, the yellow part is our focus. So we'll just click on it. So then this is the latest Python version. This is the latest version for Windows. So while we wait for it to download properly, okay, we won't be doing much. So until it is done downloading, so I think this is done downloading. Double tap to open. So it's loading. So here now, the first step is add Python to path. Click on it, then go back to install. So now we'll wait for it to install. Once it's done installing, because first, why we have to do add to path is that the step is very important. If you don't add to path, then our computer, your laptop, rather, let me rephrase that, your laptop won't recognize Python later after installing it. Let's say you went to install without adding to path, your system will not be able to recognize Python. So that is the first step, add to path and then install. So now it's installing, and we'll just give it a few minutes, and see how far we'll be able to achieve with that. So now we can see that our installation was successful. So after that, we just click on close. So now we've had our this thing downloaded. So the step three here is to check if Python is actually working on our system. So we go to our search bar here, and then if you type on command prompt, I already have it displayed here. If you're using Mac, you should have yours as terminal. So but for Windows it's command prompt. So you click on open. So here on this bash, we'll do this. You will have to type Python space version and then enter. So once you have this displayed as, remember the version of Python we downloaded was Python 3.13.3. So once you have it displayed as that, congratulations, your Python is ready. So the next step will go back to Visual Studio Code. So we'll go back here. So basically, oh, because of this, I already have a, so let's say I'll close this. I will close this and okay, let me explain this. First, you're going to go to your extension. This is your extension here. This is your extension. So you go to your extension. Remember, this step three is to make sure that this is step four. This is we're opening VS Code now and installing the Python extension. Remember, after downloading Visual Studio Code, that is VS Code, we did not open it. So now we are opening it for the first time after downloading it. Don't mind what is on my screen. I'm just telling you how yours will be. It's going to be very blank. So now the work here is to connect your VS Code to your Python, and then this is the step. You open your VS Code, click on extension. I already showed us extension. So you see, once I clicked on my extension, you see your search bar here. You type in Python. So once you type in Python, you will see you find that there are different Python, but you see the one with Microsoft. Yeah. So initially, if it's not properly downloaded, it's already installed into my VS Code. That is why you won't see this install bar here, because if it's not installed yet, yours should have an install here. So you click on it, install it, and now your VS Code now understands your Python. So once it's properly installed, it's already there. So the next step is to install Pandas library. So what we are going to do is go back to our command prompt here, open. So once we open our command prompt, we want to install pandas. So we write this, install space pandas, click on enter. So give it some time because it will download and install pandas automatically. So we will not need to do the other work. So this is it. It is now available. So we already have pandas installed. So we want to do a practical aspect, a practical test a little. So we'll create a new file in VS Code, name it something. The purpose is that we want to make sure that our Python and pandas codes is now available so we could start our work. So what we are going to do here is that we will try something. So we'll go back to VS Code here. So open a new file and then we'll give it a name. So let's say first test dot py. So this py is that you're trying to say that save this file as Python. If you're using HTML, you do dot HTML. If you're using any other programming language, dot that. So but this is Python, so you just dot Python py as Python. So we'll click on enter, then save your work. So you could save it in document or whatsoever, and test, remember .py, and then you say create a file, and then we are here. So the first step is to test for Python. So we're going to say print, open a bracket, in quotes, hello, the comma sign. So we'll say Python is ready. So just can decide to add an exclamation mark, and then you save, Control S to save, and then this arrow here helps you to, so let me close this so you could have a more proper table. So this here is to run your Python file. So but before I do that, let me clean up my terminal so we'll have something fresh. So this is it. So click on run. This is it, that arrow. So wait for our answer to be displayed on our terminal. So here, this that I highlighted, hello Python is ready. So what we actually said is print this and tell, like, print hello Python is ready. So it just shows it as a sentence without the quotes. So with this, our pandas and our Python is ready, VS Code is ready. So now we'll just do a quick walk, like we just do a dry run test and see what we have. So having done this, we'll try out something else and see. So this is already here now. Let's create a new file. So let's say this is, let me just say, my first trial. Don't mind I'm using a long sentence to type. My first trial.py, create a file. So just use it, please. Save it here. .py, create the file here. So now all we are saying is import. I will explain this and what they stand for. Import pandas as pd. Auto name should be in quotes, and I'll explain why once we are done writing this. Clara, then in quotes age, frame in bracket data print. Div. So first, to understand this, when we say import pandas as speedy, what we are just saying is hello Python, bring pandas library. Remember, pandas is working as a library in Python. Bring pandas library so I can use it as speedy. So pandas is also PD, but now we just want to refer it as speedy because we're giving it a shortcut. So instead of typing pandas everywhere, we just say let the function of pandas, that is bring import pandas, bring in the function of pandas as PD. And that is to say that we're calling pandas into a file. So like bringing a helper into our project, and we are giving that helper a nickname. Remember, pandas is working in as an Excel in Python. So we are now calling in pandas as a file, and we've given it a name as PD. And then the second line, which says create a small table. So it's just a comment. It is a comment for like humans to read. Python does not speak it in, it doesn't understand it. Anything that has the hash, yes, the hash sign is ignored when program runs in Python. Then the third one, basically, okay, still on the second line, comments are notes for us to read. Python skips them when running the code, so it's just for us human being to read and understand. Then line three, that is where we have um okay, I think we skipped something. This should be in line two, right? So before we run this, we copy and then okay, cut actually. So this there. That's for the create a small table. So this here is meant to start from here. Data. Yes. So we have it correct now. Name. So what it means is that we are creating a dictionary called data. So we're saying this dictionary is like a mini database that holds keywords which are name and age. Remember, so we introduced data and we are saying open this. At first one we said there was age and name rather, and so in the name we gave it the name you should have, and then the next one we said age. These are the age of these people. So we're creating a data set. Remember, in Excel we could have name, gender, contact number, and so on and so forth. But now this is a mini data set that just have two columns, which is name and age. So we're organizing name and the age together like a reward data table. Then line 7, right? Okay. Okay, this we have this as line 8. This is also meant to be in line 4, but since we already have it as line 8, no problem. So let's leave it here. Our line 8 now, which is the PD dot df is equals to PD dot data frame. So here, what we're actually saying is that we are telling pandas turn this dictionary into a table. Remember, we just wrote it as list. This data is dictionary, which we give out here as list. So we're now saying pandas. Remember, we said PD is a nickname we gave for pandas. So we're saying turn it to a data frame, turn it to a table like an Excel sheet. So we save this table into a variable called df, and df is the short form of data frame. So we are saying data frame is equals to pandas dot data frame. So pdf equals to df dot pd rather dot data frame then bracket data. So what this actually means is that turn this into an excel table, an excel sheet, just like we will have our spreadsheet. So in layman understanding, we just say we are changing our data from being a simple list to a table so that we could easily work with it. So then when we have the last one where we said python and print df, so we are just saying show me this table. So basically I've explained this like one line at a time. So import pandas is import pandas as pd, then create a small table. This is just a sentence. Python is not reading it. Remember we said anything that comes after the hash, Python does not recognize it, it doesn't run. So data is our dictionary, and we opened it up and we have name and age. Possibly after age now I can decide to add let's say region, right? So these are what I want to be displayed. So df, the name that I open and said, okay, give me these names. These are the list of names, and then these are the list of ages. Then df is data frame. So Panda should print this as a table. Pandas should print this as a table. So now the print and df is print this as a data frame. Remember the function of print, and then df is data frame. So I'm just saying print this as a data frame, and then that is that. So first we are going to save. Now we've written our code, we'll save it and then go here. So when we save a file and click on run python file, the result in the table will appear at the terminal button. So this is what we're going to do. Save this as Ctrl S and then go to this run python file and run it, and let's see, we have a syntax error. So and the syntax error said invalid syntax, perhaps you forgot a comma. So let's find out where did we forget a comma. So let's see, they added one after 30. Let me run again. Okay, I forgot to save it first. So I'll save first. So now we are trying to run this code and our terminal is saying that we missed a comma. So okay, yes, we're meant to add a comma to differentiate name and age. So now we've added a comma. We're not going to run immediately because if we run immediately, it already has this. So we're going to resave. So Control S to save this new improvements. We added a comma. So to save it and then we'll run. And let's see. Let's wait for our terminal here. Yes. So now you already arranged it for us as a table. And this is our answer. So now we've understood how to install a VS Code, Python, Pandas, and how to check if your Python is properly installed, how to import Pandas, and then we've tried something on how to create a table. This is just a mini data set. So our next video will be how to import our data. So let's say we already have a file. Remember we said VS Code can help us, Python helps us to handle larger data. So let's say we have a large data in Excel format, in an Excel file, and we want to import it in Python so we could clean it up, possibly summarize and analyze it. How do we go about it? And that will be on our next video. But this is the end for this video, and the assignment here is that we should try to download VS Code, Python, Pandas, install it on ourselves by ourselves, and then try doing a little work. Or we could just try to do, remember our first test where we did print hello Python is ready. So basically when it comes to when you just have print, you're actually saying print, show me this in my terminal, and I will write out the basic functions, the keywords we need to know once it comes to Visual Studio Code and Python and then pandas. Thank you.